Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's kind of a different video today. We actually are finally very proud to say we got tagged in a tag video. So we were tagged by Yankee's Outdoor Adventure. We will link him down below. Okay, let me clarify really quick. So Yankee did give us a heads up that he was tagging us, but then he's gone back and forth and he's not sure that he's going to be posting a video. Yankee was tagged by Austrian Bushman. I did see that Biker Bushcraft also did this tag, and rather than tag people, he decided to say whoever was up for the challenge could do a response and do the tag themselves. We will give credit where credit is due. All three channels we just mentioned will be listed below. 11 questions for this tag. It would be kind of cool to do it a little bit different. So seeing as tag videos bring you to new channels you've never heard of, we had the idea that we would kind of give you a taste of what we like to do while we answer the questions.
Question number 1.
Okay.
And you can answer for the both of us.
Okay, let me take a sip first. I really need this coffee.
Do you prefer to go on a trip alone?
Okay.
Or with a group?
Okay, so kind of neither, because I wouldn't consider it a group. I don't like going alone. Like a day trip is one thing, like a day hike or something like that. And I don't mind going alone for that. Sometimes it's calming. But if we're on a trip, I have to have Dana with me. I could never go on a trip without him. And I think he feels the exact same way.
I do.
Okay, are you ready for your second question?
Huh?
Are you ready for the second question?
Yeah.
Okay. So the second question of the tag is, what has been your most challenging tour or hike to date? I'd like you to give me an answer and then I'll give an answer.
My most challenging hike to date has to be Red River Gorge, Kentucky in winter.
Okay, that's what I thought you'd say.
It was just cold, slippery, and I was woefully unprepared for that kind of a hike. But also one of the most amazing hikes to date.
Well, we had to hike like, what was it, 2.5 miles to our treehouse? Are you doing it right now?
Yes. Okay. Question 2. What is your most difficult hike to date?
My most difficult hike to date, and it's kind of a tough question, honestly, if you've done a lot of hikes, but I would have to say mine was Emerald Pools in Zion National Park. It was on our honeymoon, and Emerald Pools we went to, this was like our second day in Zion, so this was like 14 days into our honeymoon, which was a backpacking road trip, which was phenomenal, but we were tired, and it was very hot that day. And it was very, very hot, which is a contrast to how cold it was that night in the desert, because we camped in the desert. But what was hard about it is I was having back problems, and that hike is straight up the whole time. So I'd have to say that's my answer.
Cheers.
Cheers. For our next question on the tag, question number 3. What is the most beautiful sleeping place that you've stayed in so far? Go ahead and answer first, babe. Both gonna give an answer.
Moab, Utah.
Which park?
It's called Sand Flats in Moab, Utah.
What was so beautiful about it?
It's a rock climbing park. And I don't remember, like...
Off-roading too.
Yeah, off-roading. But it was like, the most beautiful part about it wasn't during the daytime. The most beautiful part was at night.
Yeah.
For us, it was a full moon that week.
That day. Yeah.
And I remember watching the moon not come down, but come up.
The canyon.
Come up and be in front of us, just almost right across the desert. It was the most amazing, humbling, breathtaking experience. I can't even relate it to you, but it was almost like you could reach out and grab the moon.
I would say for me, and that's tough because I agree with him, that's definitely one of my favorite places we ever camped. Really anywhere in Utah, we love Utah, but if I had to pick, I'm also gonna pick one from that same road trip. I'm gonna pick when we stayed in Kings Canyon National Park. So Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Park are kind of one and the same. They are separate parks, but they're very similar and they're connected. So we actually visited both, but we camped in Kings Canyon, and we were 7,000 feet up, and we were surrounded by redwoods. So we stayed in the National Park campground, and it was one of the old school styles where you can actually, you pay and you put your money in a little box, and there's no ranger to assign the campground to you. You just go and claim one. So we claimed our site, and it was close to the bathroom, but there was a field behind us. As we were getting our tent set up, a bunch of like elk and mule deer started coming behind us and bedding down in that grass that was literally right behind our campsite. And there were so many deer and elk and all that stuff that when I went in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I actually had to stop, back up, and freeze because there was a line of deer walking past the little trail that goes to the bathroom. So I had to wait for that traffic jam of wildlife before I could go pee. So that's why, because those moments collectively made it such a peaceful and beautiful and remarkable experience to sleep there. And it was just stunning to be surrounded by big, beautiful redwoods. Okay, next question. What are some of your favorite winter activities to do outside?
Well, if I could, I would say fly the drone. I love flying in the winter when it's warm enough. My absolute all-time favorite activity, period, bar none, is fishing. So in the winter, I ice fish. What is your favorite activity to do in the winter?
Although I do love ice fishing, I'd have to say for me, it would be either, I have to, cross-country skiing or skiing in general. It's a hell of a lot of fun. Or winter hiking, because I just love hiking so much. Babe!
What?
You ever been seriously hurt in the outdoors?
No.
Me neither. Next question. Do you practice special survival techniques? And if so, which techniques do you practice?
Well, it's a tough one. I can start a fire without matches or lighters or anything. And I can build one hell of a shelter.
First, I can help him turn that hell of a shelter into a home and help him build it, obviously. Another thing I would say would be, and this is something that I think that I'm gaining interest on more and more every day, and I like learning more about it. So I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily an expert or proficient, of course, but I really love knowing what plants are edible, what plants are dangerous or poisonous, what plants or wildlife indicate certain things in nature, such as if a storm is coming, if the area is prone to rain or not, things like that. And also knowing what plants hold or possess a medical quality to them that could be used in an emergency situation if you don't have a first aid kit. So I do know those basic things, at least in the forest in Michigan, but I'd like to know more about that. But that is something that I'm working on and that I think I know a little bit about. Okay, next question though. What do you think about a permanent bushcraft camp that you use over a long period of time?
I think the idea of a permanent bushcraft camp is awesome. It would be a really cool place if we ever decided to build one in our 50 acres in northern Michigan to practice some of those outdoor survival techniques. But I respect the idea of leave no trace, and we like to backpack, so I'm more of a pick it up and move it kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I guess I would prefer to do it that way.
But it's always good to unplug for a weekend.
It is always good to unplug for the weekend, and for that reason alone, I think it's a good idea. Hey babe.
Yeah.
What is your favorite recipe for cooking outside?
Oh, it's tough. Okay, so first
s'mores don't count.
They do, that's part of my answer. Listen, mister. Okay, so I'm not super adventurous when it comes to cooking outside. We don't usually do a lot of cooking beyond like roasting hot dogs or sausages, but I would say probably one of my favorite things, I keep it old school, is hobo pies. So I love savory, sweet, and anything in between. And s'mores count, so that's part of my answer. I like doing like different types of s'mores. So we don't just do your standard Hershey's, graham cracker, marshmallow kind of a thing. Sometimes we do alcoholic s'mores where you actually soak the marshmallows in liquor, which is phenomenal. Or instead of using just standard chocolate or a graham cracker, I could use fudge striped cookies, or I could use Reese's peanut butter cups. So far, that's my favorite ones.
Yum.
I'm cold. Next question, how do we motivate ourselves in bad weather? You take it away first, babe.
Well, I guess bad weather's kind of subjective. When you work as much as we have and do, you have to take every opportunity that you get, whether that be hiking in a torrential rainstorm or the wilderness with 24 inches of snow on the ground or whatever.
In negative temperatures.
In negative temperatures. You don't have a lot of opportunities, so if you've got the right gear, you just make it happen.
The thing that I would add to it is, from my perspective as a photographer, I'll push through anything if I get the right shot or if I can get the right footage. So it's pretty easy for me to be motivated. I also am a strong believer that if you push through any obstacle, especially when you're outside enjoying the outdoors, no matter the weather condition, of course if you're safe, you will render a great story that will either make you laugh or make you never do whatever you were doing ever again. It depends.
But usually we laugh.
Here's your question, and you can answer for me because we have the same answer. If you had to pick one dream destination that's a once-in-a-lifetime trip, where would that be?
It's a really tough one.
We have many options.
I think there's a lot of different places in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can narrow it down to one, but if I had to pick just one, for me, from a drone standpoint...
And hiking.
Iceland.
Same. All right, last question. What is the heaviest piece of equipment that you carry around while we're hiking or traveling?
Oh. My drone. What is your heaviest equipment?
Well, one of the things you're actually holding and recording on right now would be my camera. But it's hard to think about what I don't carry everything with me all the time. But if I'm filming it, I'm doing like a location shoot, sometimes I have to carry everything with me. I'm not saying I hike with all this stuff, but I mean, it can get a little bit crazy, you know? You never know what lenses you might need. So, I'm not trekking up a mountain, but if we're traveling and I'm doing a shoot, I may have all of this stuff with me, and my tripod, and my camera, and I do squats. But I don't really do that. I'm tired. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our tag and our answers to the 11 questions. Yeah, we wanted to basically do this tag a little bit different. It's our first tag we've ever done on YouTube.
We had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. We wanted to do it the Beerbelly way, which is while we hike.
While we drive.
While we stand in a frozen lake.
Eat dinner.
While we eat. And while we drink beer. I'm going to quickly tell you guys who I tag. You can tag up to 11 people, and I'm actually filming this a couple days after Yankee told me he was going to tag me. So if he says any of these people, disregard. Now here are the channels that we are tagging for this tag.
Bring Tastebuds.
Jason Helmandollar.
Little Dirt Never Hurt.
Happy Trails Hiking.
Travelers Relish.
America's Parks.
AOK Foraging and Adventures.
Traveling Spanky.
Rockeastwood Outdoors.
Backpack Bushcraft.
Matt.Cook.Oregon.
Beer, porn, and more.
TheGreatOutGamer. Yes, Patrick, that's you.
And we will help you. Edgewood Outdoors. So tag, you're it, and cheers.
Cheers.